Okay, Bill O'Reilly with Donald Trump. He is one of the best broadcast journalists in the history of television, one of the most successful authors as well in the history of books. The United States of Trump is out right now. Bill O'Reilly may have sold more books than any other nonfiction author in history. Quite an accomplishment. Bill O'Reilly joins us live tonight. Privileged to have you, sir. How's it going?
Good, Greg. Thanks for having me in.
Absolutely. You know what? I saw something extraordinary at the White House today, and I think I might have seen your fingerprints. The president had a very civilized business roundtable, spoke. It was very presidential. It was actually boring at times, and he took a handful of polite questions from reporters. This sounds like some advice that I heard someone give him, or at least say out loud on the radio recently. What do you think of what happened today, and is it a step in the right direction?
Well, I think the president knows he made a mistake with the musing about whether things can be injected in people and light can be used. He didn't do anything wrong, but he opened the door for the Trump haters in the media to mock him and to denigrate him and to create an incident. So I think after that, the president heard what I said in my news analysis and others as well, not to speculate, not to wander off into directions that may lead to misunderstandings. Keep it very concise. Keep the factual presentation about the virus forefront, and to handle it that way is far too serious and dangerous to speculate on or to have side conversations on the air. So I'm happy he did that for the sake of the country.
Yeah, no, it made a lot of sense. That briefing room was getting way, way, way too chaotic. Hey, you said something else recently in one of your articles that the media, you find the media right now a greater threat to America than the virus. And I actually, if I heard you correctly, I actually think you're onto something. But if you care to expand on that, because at first it sounds outrageous, but I think you might be onto something.
Well, in order for any democracy, republic, free enterprise to operate at a high level, you have to have a very well-informed constituency. And in America, that's we the people, voters. And if the voters don't know the truth about whatever issue is in play, they can't make responsible decisions. So if you don't understand what socialism is, for example, then you can't vote for or against it with any authority because you don't understand it. So right now in America, we have a media that hates Trump. 80% of the national media despise him. So every news story, including the pandemic, is tilted, spun in a direction to make the president of the United States look bad. Therefore, the truth of the matter, whatever it may be, is lost because the national press doesn't care about facts anymore. They care about removing Donald Trump in November. And that is dangerous. And it's been going on for a while, and it is a bigger threat to our country than the temporary virus.
It's been going on for a while, and maybe it's even been going on long before Donald Trump. I mean, my sense is that the reporters hated Richard Nixon. They hated Ronald Reagan. Maybe not so much Ronald Reagan, but they've always been to the left. They've always been for the other side, and sometimes they succeed and sometimes they don't. But it's not brand new, but it's gotten worse, in your opinion?
Yeah. How long have you been in TV, Greg?
Well, not as long as you, but I've been in since I got out of the Marine Corps in 2000. So makes 20 years this month.
You've been in 20 years. I've been in 45. All right. And what had happened in this country is that large corporations have taken over 90% of the national news flow. Whereas when I started, when you started, there were 50 or 60 corporations. All right. Now there are six that control all of the news flow. Disney, Comcast, NBC, CBS, Fox, New York Times, Washington Post. These people who run these companies are liberal people. almost all of them with the exception of Fox. And they hire managers and editors and producers who are liberal. So that's what you've gotten. You've gotten a shrinking of the corporate companies that run the media, and you've gotten a mindset, one mindset. Yes, they didn't like Nixon. It's always been kind of liberal, but it's never been this concentrated. And the power of the media is vast, tremendous, and it's now in a very few hands.
The power of the people, though, as you know, is, I still say it's greater because, hey, we were both there, by the way, the day that Donald Trump declared on June 16th, 2015. You were in the room. I was in the room when he came down that escalator. I, by the way, really had a sense that something was going to happen. I called it a game changer at the time. But, I mean, to my earlier point, the media can feel however it wants, but it's still ultimately up to the people.
But here's the difference. So when Donald Trump came down the stairs, I did the first interview with him after he declared. All right. I didn't know. In fact, I didn't think he was going to win. I was like making fun of him. Like, oh, you're crazy. You can't beat the Republican establishment. I never thought he'd be able to do that. And I was wrong, obviously. But what I did understand was that Trump himself was so charismatic that he would be able to get his own message out to the people, which he did. He went around the media. If you read The United States of Trump, my book, you'll see he didn't play the corporate media game. And he had enough money where he didn't need their money. So he went around right to the folks. But now it's a different story because people seeking the truth about Donald Trump's competency as president can't get it. Because you're either rooting for him, some are, or you hate him. So that the voter is in the middle going, well, what's the truth? Is he doing a good job on the pandemic? Is he not? And it's almost impossible to get that kind of information because it's not being put out there by the corporations.
I get it. I know actually what that book you wrote is excellent. Anybody who wants to really understand Donald Trump, you were friends with him decades before he went into politics. I think we have a picture of you with him on Air Force One. And I got a question for you, actually, about now that he's in the job, and I know you keep in touch with him from time to time. He's really grinning there. Is he happy in the job? Is he actually, look, he's got a lot on his plate. This coronavirus is terrible. But is he in any way enjoying it?
He was happy in December. Likes the job, wants, obviously, 4 more years. Thought he was going to walk in against the scattered Democrats. But now, it's a different story. Very frustrated, can't control the virus, and Donald Trump is a big control guy. Is he a happy guy? I don't think right now he's a happy guy. If you watch him, he's hunching over a little bit, all presidents age, all presidents. But I think now he's more tentative. And he's going, if this doesn't calm down, I lose. If he gets it under control, he'll win, I think. But he's got to get it under control.
I have a theory about Trump, by the way, that, the transition from civilian Trump to President Trump was the least traumatic because he had all the trappings of a commander in chief, a plane, ultra celebrity. For a lot of people like Obama and like Clinton, that was brand new and a bit of a culture shock. I think it's actually one interesting thing that he had going for him, one of many things he had going for him as he took office. By the way, the American people, I have a sense that we're obviously getting pretty impatient. We can wait, maybe not too much longer. We're cooperating,
2
but
weeks.
We have our limits. What do you think is going to happen over the next 30 days?
Well, I lead my newscast, the No Spin News on BillO'Reilly.com tonight with a prediction that the authorities, the powers that be, have 2 more weeks of cloistering people, of shelter at home, whatever they shelter in place. 2 weeks. You're seeing a crack now. Over the weekend, it was anarchy in Huntington Beach, Orange County, California. 40,000 people didn't social distance. Even though the governor and the local authorities were screaming, they just went out. Michigan, you saw 5,000 people challenge the governor there last night in Brooklyn. you saw a funeral. Orthodox Jews, no social distancing. So it's starting to crack. We got 2 more weeks of this, and then people are going to say enough. They will wear the masks. I think we're going to see that throughout the summer, but I don't think people are going to stay home longer than 2 weeks. My prediction, and as you know, Greg, I could be wrong. I think I was wrong 3 times in 45 years, but, I could be wrong.
Well, one of those times was June 16, 2015, and you know who was right on that day, right?
June 5th. What was that date?
June 16, 2015, the day you were making fun of Donald Trump for entering the race.
That's right. I was wrong there. Absolutely.
Well, I was. We don't have it ready. It's a little bit long, but I called him a total game changer, and he could go all the way with that message. It was interesting. I really felt the energy, but the message I knew would resonate based on, where I've lived and where you lived. We grew up not too far from each other on Long Island, a couple of decades apart, as you pointed out earlier. Bill O'Reilly, the one and only. Thank you very much. Check out No Spin News on BillO'Reilly.com. And again, The United States of Trump is out now. By the way, what is the next book? Killing Crazy Horse? Can we get it yet?
No, September 15th, Killing Crazy Horse, the 9th in the Killing series comes out.
Congratulations. Wow. Looking forward to it. Those books are amazing. And Bill O'Reilly, thanks again.
All right. Anytime, Greg.
All right. Take care now.